welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I'm Delix. So, it's time for a new sketchbook tour. I started this sketchbook on November 2024, and this was the sketchbook that went through with me during my second and last year as a concept art and illustration student. Before starting with the actual pages, I have this spread with various business cards. I can say now, after several years of collecting them, it's now a habit of mine. Like writing on the first page of the sketchbook. It takes away a lot of pressure. I finished the previous sketchbook trying to break free from a huge art block caused by a burnout, and it shows. I thought that at a certain point I got off of the art block, but looking at it now, I was wrong. I think I'm starting to unblock myself just in this period. I continued to draw shapes in pen as an exercise and a warm-up. And here are my notes of the first lesson of that year, and I should say the most exciting lesson I had. It was about art styles and how to kind of find out our own artistic voice, but in a more deep and analytical way. I did a huge mood board with my major inspiration and goals. If you're interested in this topic and you want to know how I went from this to this, let me know. It could be an interesting video to do. Linked to the style guide lessons, there were also the brush design ones, in which we learned how we can create brushes according to our personal taste and needs. In between my notes, I doodled some tigers and shapes. I've never thought that drawing cubes was so relaxing. I would like to make a video about drawing shapes and how it could be so much fun. Oh yeah, during brush design, I also had a reality check about color theory. Colors are my very true passion and kinda my thing, and I tried to study them a lot. But during a lesson, I was talking with the teacher about the complexity of colors in a specific piece. And he started to explain to me things that I didn't know, ending with, "Did you study color theory?" Apparently not, sir. I was so devastated. All my knowledge about color theory was wrong. Well, I mean, not really. They are right, but incomplete. I know that my professor didn't mean anything wrong. He didn't want to humiliate me or something, but I started to question everything that day, my life, and my artistic choices. Ooh, I wanted to talk about this office AU. I started to draw my OCs in this office-like fantasy cause I had a dream where me and a friend were interns at this huge company, but in reality, we were supposed to steal some information about I don't know what. And those informations were on a computer of one of my OCs, Royce. He was a manipulator kind of guy, which in reality it is. And even if he acted all innocent, I knew that he knew that I stole the informations, and he was just waiting for the right time to catch us. And that time actually came. I was called by him to do a speech in front of the whole company, and he knew I didn't know anything. But I don't know how, I started to mumble some words that transformed into a motivational and touching speech, like I rolled a nat 20 on persuasion. He was shocked, and I went out of the building as fast as I could. So yeah, after that dream, I started to doodle my OCs in fancy suits. This is the 2025 art goals page where I stuck my 2024 art recap and I scribbled my plans for the year. I was planning to film the process of my world building project, but due to a lot of things, I didn't end up making it. But it's not too late. I can still show you the project, which you can see some doodles in this sketchbook. I wanted to do a video series and I still want to do it, to be honest. Nosferatu was my first movie of 2025 and I tried to do some Notan studies. Then I continued to doodle concepts for my project and shapes right next to my notes. You can tell that I was very dedicated with my shapes. This is the beginning of my art block. If I was stuck before, I was definitely submerged in concrete at this point. I really can't tell why, but the promo art segment did nothing good to me. By that, I don't want to blame the teacher. She didn't do anything wrong. It's just, I felt that everything I was doing wasn't right. Not good enough. Not good enough ideas, not good enough compositions. I ended up so frustrated that I just hoped to be done soon, and although I took my trip to the Philippines as a timeout, I came back maybe more stuck than before. After more notes about other lessons, I finally took the time to stick the ephemera I collected during my trip to the Philippines. It's been 8 years since I went there last time. I stayed there for 10 days, a very short time compared to what I was used to. In fact, every day was a rush. I visited so many places like museums, the aquarium, and I tried to eat as many things as I could, especially sisig, which I can confidently say it's one of my favorite Filipino dish. While I was there, I took a complete pause from drawing, and I just tried to relax and live the moment. I had a list of things to buy, but unfortunately, I couldn't find most of the things. But at least I tried to focus on finding some cool clothes. Here I sketched the friend while he was doing some lightsaber training. Some concepts and drawing of tigers. Here I started to have a crisis about my art supplies and what color I should take with me. I wanted a palette with bold and vibrant colors that I can also mix well together. Spoiler alert! I ended up changing my art supplies arrangement after a while, but up to the day I'm recording, I didn't change it up yet. Besides this art supplies crisis, there's another thing that challenged me, and it was mecha design. Same as for promo art. Great professor, but I wasn't acing the subject. As you can see from the notes, I had to design something mechanic for my character. So 4 designs in total for 4 characters. I doodled something, but I was only satisfied with just one design. After all the notes and doodle, I think this is one of the few pages I'm proud of. I went to this pastry shop where they make Japanese pastry and bubble tea. I doodled Lynn and Celeste enjoying some matcha bubble tea and each other's company. It's been so long since I drew some Pokemon, so I decided to draw Kevin, Thomas, and Jonathan with their signature Pokemon. Now that I think about it, I could eventually draw them with a full team. I would love to make more Pokemon art. I failed attempt to do some plein air. I'm not used to use gouache or watercolors anymore. This was during summertime and by the writing, you can really tell that I was so stressed. It says, "Do you know what we do with all of this stress? We become diamonds." I was trying to finish most of the things of my project for the final review and the final exam. I was putting a lot of pressure to myself. But I finally finished drawing 100 tigers. And I started to draw 100 hands. Unfortunately, I have very few time now and it got harder trying to finish this 100 drawing. Did you ever try to go to a hot pot during summer? Well, I did, and let me say, it wasn't bad. I thought I was going to melt in the broth, but I didn't. So yeah, it's safe eating hot pot in summer, and no, you're not going to melt for the excessive heat. I was going through another change of mind about my art supplies again, and I think in this period I was preparing for Inktober. It's been a while since I did Inktober properly, going through it from the first to the last day of the month, but doing one illustration in ink didn't serve me for anything. So what did I do? Basically, I took Sarah Burns' studio prompt list of 2021 and I adapted it for what I needed and what I wanted to achieve. I must say, it was so refreshing. I didn't have to think about color, light, and ambience, just grayscale values. I had to deal with different subjects, but overall I had so much fun and it helped me a bit. This is a page where I stuck a bunch of stuff collected during Luca Comics. I was there with the school for a live demo session. By this time I was already graduated, but this was our last official event with the school. And this is the last page. I finished the sketchbook on November 6th, just right after Lucca Comics, but before going to Japan. I forgot to mention that this sketchbook is actually a basic planner from Flying Tiger. But yeah, this is the end of the sketchbook of a concept art and illustration student, and basically the end of my journey as a student. It was a turmoil and it reflects my mental state in more than a way. I don't think it's a bad sketchbook or failed sketchbook. It's just suffered. If you have to compare it with my current sketchbook, I think you can see it. And with that, if you made it this far, thank you so much. This might be the end of the journey as a student, but the road is still long, and there's one thing that every student has to deal with: the after graduation part. So, give it a like if you liked it, subscribe for more, and see you next time. Bye bye!